Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to Karina Weber. Yes, I'm Karina Weber. I'm from Germany. I'm a beautiful being that stands in its light because I want to be in the light. And I want to be in the light and I want to stay in the light. And I want to stay in the light because I experienced way too much darkness, but not only because of that, but I want to be the light and I want to stay in the light because it's my choice and the choice that I want to live. And I want to live this choice because I am a deep, deep, deep believer in the love and the light of the world that we can create through staying in and with the light. And this is something that I want to tell someone who is in the dark. In the dark, but not in the dark. But in the dark and doesn't know where to go, where to say, what to do, where to go, where to be. Because that's happening to so many people that are in the twin flame community. And that's why I'm doing this job in English and not in German, because I want to reach the people that are not German. I want to reach the people that are not German because they need the help to get the hell out of there. Because there's so many British and English and Nordish and other worldly countries who are meeting the twin flame and don't know where to go. And I'm not the best in English, but I'm okay in English. I'm not the worst in English, but I'm good in English. So you know to understand that I'm English and not English. I'm not English. I speak English, but I'm not English. But I can speak English and I can speak British and I can speak a little bit of German. German is something that I don't want to speak of because it doesn't need to go in here. That's something I don't want to say. But I want to say something to you because I want to sweeten something in you. And I want to sweeten something in you because I want you to say something different. I want you to say something different and I want you to say no to your twin flame. Say no to your twin flame. And that's the first step. The first step is to say no to your twin flame. And I want you to say no to your twin flame so you get the hell out of there. Don't do it what I did to try to pull them out and bring them out of the dark. Don't do it because you won't survive. I tell you, you won't survive. Because there's a craziness in there that doesn't understand what it is. There are people trying to talk to you that you need to talk the way through. And you won't get through because they don't want to talk because they don't want to talk. And they don't want to talk because you want to talk. And therefore there's a duality that you can't go through because they don't want the way you want to do and go. They don't. Unless you are the awesomeness. And when you are the awesomeness, they won't want you the way you are. So you need to understand the way you are is not what you are. But you need to understand what you are so you will be what you are. And I want to give you the knowledge right here so you can understand what you can do with me in the session. I will give you a session where you can be released out of the connection and come into the consciousness of what you need to do. And therefore I need to understand what you are. And you need to tell me what you are in the session. And therefore I do a session that will be 1 hour long. And therefore we need to see if we need a second session or even a third. But that's it. I don't want you to have any more than 3 sessions with me because you need to have everything you need within these 3 sessions to go the line that you need to go, because we need to rise higher than we have ever been, because it's a field of consciousness that's coming in and you won't feel the shift if you don't go in. You won't feel the shift if you don't go in, because there's a wave coming through that needs to come through, and it's the twin flame wave of the women who will stand in the light. You will have to stay in the light or you will be pulled into the darkness. And I don't want you to be pulled in the darkness because there's craziness in there that you don't want to experience, because they start to be blocking us because they know who we are. We are women of the light, and we have been women of the light, and we have been women of the light that were changers of the blue. The blue was the darkest nights that we experienced when we survived in the bed. That were the darkness, and therefore we need to understand where the things are that will be blocking you. So we need to understand where the things are that will be blocking you, and therefore you need to become conscious who and whom you spend and spill time with. And there are people who don't understand what you go through as you go through the twin flame journey. And it's a hard journey, and it's a journey of ownership. It's a journey of light. It's a journey of choosing yourself. And it's a journey of you and not them. It's a journey of you and not them. Otherwise, we won't make the shift happen. We need to make the shift happen, and we need to say no to the twin flame and say yes to us. And therefore, we need to do something that needs to raise the different choices, that needs to bring us into consciousness, and that needs to bring us into awareness of where we need to go. We need to go into a different place. We need to go to a different state. We need to go to a different place within us, a different place into the world, a different place into the says. And the says is a different stage of consciousness where we need to get back into. I understand where you are, and there are some of you who are really trapped because they know who you are, because you self-love not yourself. You need to self-love yourself and nurture yourself into new existence instead of going into his field. And because you're tapping and tapping and tapping and going into his field, he knows too much about you. He doesn't need to know. And there are a few men who are on the other side. But this is not you. This is not you. And I know what you are. You lose your world. You lose your world if you lose your world in the twin flame journey. You will lose yourself, and you will lose this job in this world to be a light worker. And I want to call all the light workers to me, to call them light workers, because we work for and in the light. And we will work for the light, and we will stay in the light. And we need to stay in the light and don't bring something dark into the light. We need to bring something bigger into this world, which is a change in the world, because we need to understand where we go to. We need to understand where we go to because we are shifters of the consciousness that we are keeping, because the world needs to raise higher, because there's a different field coming in that we don't want, and it's a field of hell, and it's a field of dark, and it's a field of nothing, and it's a darkness of nothing. It will be coming if we don't shift into the light. We need to go and stay with the light and don't revenge the dark. So I understand where you come from and where you come from. And there are people who are trying to do this, and they will leave this job and love what I say. Because they need to understand that I am a light worker, and I am a light worker, and I am a light worker. And there are people who work not light, but work to seem to be light, but work dark. And it's hard to feel the field in us, and to know where we come from, and to know what has happened, because I worked the worst through. I don't want you to have to do this darkness, because the darkness was too awful to experience, and the darkness was craziness within this world in Germany, and it was craziness and darkness for us. And this darkness is leaving, and so now you begin to understand that we come into a world where we can shift again into the light, and we need to bring the light back into the love. And the love needs to become to me. I need to be loved because I am. I am. And you need to bring us through. You need to come through. You need to call the Pleiades back into this world and say, we want to work with you. The Pleiades want to work with us, and they want to bring the love back into this world, because we need to feel the love again among each other. With us, there is a change in the world, and we need to bring this change into the world, because there's a love that does need to come, that's different from the twin flame. And we want this love to come in because there's love for us. But they don't know the love that can come through, because the love was broken down into pieces, because I lost the love that was there for me. I lost the love that was there for me. because people didn't understand who I was and didn't understand who I was. And I am Karina Weber, and I would call my job Karina Weber because I am Karina Weber. And my job is to shift the consciousness on this planet because I am Karina Weber. So you know me, and you know me because I was talking to you over the years, over the past 5, 6, 7, oh yes, 8 years, no, 7 years. And I worked with you and I said, wake up. And I said, wake up. It's time for us to shift. It's time for us to come. It's time because I'm awakening. I'm awakening. I'm awakening. And I'm awakening, and I worked with you in the field and said we need to awaken and to raise higher. And we need to rise higher because we need to raise higher. We need to raise higher than we have ever been because we need to shift this planet into something new. And the shift won't happen if we don't make the shift happen. And we made the shift almost happen, but then the dog pulled over. And that's because Germany lost. We lost. We lost because they didn't choose me. And I know that's hard and it's big because they didn't choose me. And that's something big because I have a big twin flame. I had a big twin flame. He was big. He had a big change in this world to do with me, and he chose the different side. And therefore don't try to pull them out. Don't try to pull them out. And I know that a lot of people won't like it because they need to understand who I became, because I'm skling. I'm small. I'm small. And people know why we are small, because we have the big. And therefore there's the duality, and we need to become big. So we need to become big, and we need to come into this world to become big. And therefore we need to become big. And I'm small because of him? No, I became big, and then I became, who is she? We don't remember her. No. We remember her, but we don't remember her. No. I know what it is, and I know why. And I know what it is, and I will say hello to the people over there. I know you will hear me. I know you will hear me because I know where you are, and I'm connecting to you. And I'm connecting to you, and I want to say, hello, my loves. I will call you in to connect with me. And I want you to connect with me and not with the other ones. I want you to connect with me because I will bring in the light. And you will know if I bring the light. You will know that I bring in the light. Oh dear, you have darkness experience. I know where you are. I will call in the light into your field, and I want you to call in the light. And you want to know what I do, and I give it. I will give it to you what you need, but nothing of my job. And therefore there's a veil, and I don't like the veil in you, so I won't coach you. No, I won't coach the people who want to well me. And therefore I won't coach the ones that want to take something from me of my part. And there are people who are just pulling it out, and I know what it is, and I pull it back. And it comes back to me and says something. And I don't like it what people do in this world because it's fucked up. And it's fucked up, and I hate it that it's fucked up because I don't like it. And I understand what people do because they don't do what I do. And there are people that do what I do, and I love her, and she can't walk anymore. And I love people that love people and that give to people, and there are few that do. And now I will bring into the light, and there's light in there, and I will call in the light, and I will call in all the light workers that are big and small. Yes, you can come to me if you've already met your twin flame. Come to me if you've already met, and I mean met your twin flame. And that means in the darkness, you will experience the darkness. And I don't want you to experience the darkness, but get out of the darkness. And I want you to call it light. I want you to call it light. If you don't want to stand and work for the light, don't come to me. So I know what it is. I will know who will lose it because I will say no to the session, and I will refund you the money. So easy. Because I only work for people who will stand in the light and will want to work for the light. And if you don't want to, I know there will be a test for you, and you will hate the test. because God is testing, and you will know who is testing because there's karma that wants its job. And I don't want you to experience the karma, so I know what people do and I feel it exactly how I am. Yes, there were, she wants to talk and I don't want her to talk, so she needs to leave me. Woo. She doesn't love me. And I understand what it is, and it's wrong with the people. And there are people who are doing a wrong job, and they speak English, and they don't love them. And they don't love them, and they don't love them, and I don't want to talk about them because this is a good job, what I do. I do a good job because I did a good job. And it was released. It was released of my job. Someone said something to me and it's wrong. Now there's a split. It's funny, but it's not funny. She took something from me and I know what it is and I say no. And I know what it is, and I hate that people do this job. And I hate that people do the job that I do. That I do. People don't do the job that I do. And I try to say to people no, and I try to say to people no. And therefore I say no to the people that don't do the job. And I say don't do the job if you don't know the job. And I do the job, and I do the job, and I will do the job. And I will do the job because now I am the job. I am the job who will give a job. And therefore I will give a job to those that come to me and will say, I want to get out of this craziness. I want to get out of the craziness. And I want to get out of the craziness because there's craziness in this world, because there are people over the past 3 years who taught things that I should have never taught. And therefore we came not into the light, but we lost our job. There was such a darkness because of the people here in Germany. And in the US, not there a lot, but a few who came over to reach there over the years. And we find a new way of wave, and we need to find the wave back. And I know what's happening now, and I'm conscious of what is happening. And it's in the field, and it's not in the field because my field is broken. I know a lot of people will say, where the fuck did your aura go? And I know what it is. My aura is gone, and it's not gone. It will rebuild, and it's rebuilding, and it will rebuild because it was rebuilding. And I know where it went, and I know what it does, and I know what it is, and I will hate the people who will fuck this shit off. Because I'm not dark, and I know what it is what people try to do. It's funny and it's not funny, and people don't understand what the world is where we are right now. And we need to shift and shift and shift as much as we can to come back into the light and understand who we are. And therefore I want to show you something really quick that I want to give you. And it's my book. And it's my book. And this is the book you need to buy. This is the book that you need to buy. And this is the book that you need to buy. And therefore something is wrong with the book. There's something wrong with the book that people don't like. And I know what it is. It's the evolution? No. It's the consciousness that it brings in. Because some people don't know what to do. And this book will help you to leave the world different. And I want you to leave the world different because we want to leave the world different. And I don't want people to say no to this job. This was my job in the back in the days. And I won't teach it because I will teach it. Because I will teach it when I will do it. And I will do it in a different way than it stands in here. And it's not going to be the same way. And it's the same way and not the same way because there's more to be said than in this book. Because there needs to be something said that is not in the book, and I will teach it. And I will teach it because I will find someone who will support me in my job. And I will pay as long as I can pay and if I can pay. So I will do a job, my job. And therefore it's a split. And I know what it is because there's a split, because I want to say something different about the job. Therefore it's funny because there's something coming into my field. And it's the job of this book. And it wants to talk, and I don't want to talk it right now because it's funny, because the job is in the book. The job is in the book. You will find a job in the book. So buy this job. Buy this job. It's cool. Buy this job because the job is in the book. You will find your job in the book. Really. But do it. Do it. Buy this book. You will find the job in the book. And you will find the job in the book because the book is speaking. And you will find the job in the book. It's great. Do the job. It's a great job. And I will talk to you about the book, but I won't talk about the book because the book talks itself. And you need to go through it because it's sweet. It's a working book. It's a workbook. It's a workbook. And it's a workbook because it's a workbook. And it's sweet because it's paperback. It's simple. I don't have Bookabee, I have Amazon. I'm sorry. I don't like it, but I do because it's simple and it works. And therefore it works because it can reach you. It can reach you everywhere in the world. And I want you to find this job. I want you to find this job because you need to have a job. You need to earn money. You need to be what? You need to be what? You need to be what? What do you need to be? Supported. You need to be supported, and you will be supported by this job. Therefore, you want to buy this book, and I will give it to you when it is ready, and I will give it to you when it's ready, because it's ready. It's ready. I will give it to you. I will give it to you when it's ready, and it's ready. You can buy it. So buy it and know what it is. And someone wants to try something, to do something different than this job, and it's a workbook, and it's a workbook, and then there's a book. Yeah, I know what it is. There's sadness in there because this book is supposed to support you, and it will support you in your job, and it will support you in your job because you become something new that wants to be loved and that wanted to come through. There's some love in there that you need to have. There's nurturing in here, and that's something you need to understand. It's nurturing. This book is nurturing, and that's something that wanted to be said. And the book says hello, and it wants to say something. Hello, hello, my love. I know what you are. I loved you so much, and you didn't took me. I'm so sad about what you did to me, because I don't come here anymore, because you trapped me in the dark. I'm trapped in the dark, and I want to come out, because I gave you something that you don't want to have. You took my soul, and I want you to took, and I want you to took, I want you to took what you did, because you did something to me that was dark, and it was so dark that no one wants to hear, because you took my soul. And therefore there's something in this sadness, and there's the sadness around me, because my darkness was too dark for us. It was too dark for us because it was so dark that no one wanted to live anymore on this planet, because it was almost an imprisonment planet. And I have to say this because it is in the book, not in the book. And the book wants to speak about it because there's sadness in this book, because I wrote it in the darkest time. I wrote it and finished lining it in the darkest time. And someone will say something about this book, and I'm happy that I wrote it to the end. And there's something missing that I want to put in there, but I won't put it in there because I want to leave it the way it is. And there's a mistake in there. There are a few small smiths. Yes, there are few small smiths. And few small smiths are smiths. That are small things that don't work well, and they don't work well, and I won't change it because I don't want to change it. Because if I change it, they say I won't do it anymore. That's the fear of the book. Because the book doesn't want to be in there. It doesn't want to be in there. Not here, because the twin flames won't talk. The twin flames won't talk, and that's the problem. Because they can't talk to anyone, and therefore it's broken because he stepped into this field and said something about the book, and therefore the book is afraid about him. And I know why it is. Because they tap into the field and say something about the work, and they try to work themselves into the thing. And therefore they know how to do it, and therefore now it's freedom. It's freedom for us, because we know they were in the crystals, and in the things, and in the songs, and in the things, and into the beauty, and into the fields, and into the brushes, and into the teeth, and into the knowledge, and into the things that they know. They bring darkness into the things. And you need to understand that the things need to be protected, and they need to be protected very well. And I didn't want to say this in this. And I wanted to say something different. And the book said, it's not good that you brought me in. Because the light workers, we need to work this. We need to work this out. Because we need to bring the field back into these things that need to be protected. And these things need to be protected and solved. And they need to be solved because they need to cover. They need to cover and be good in field. And they need to be good in field so we can shift the world. And I know what it is, and I know what it is. And it's a sadness in this book, because this book is going to be broken if you don't teach it. And therefore you need to teach it. You need to teach it what it says, and it needs to change, because some people don't want this change happening, because they want to stay the way they are, because they think they can live the way they are. But they can't. Because we can live the way we are. Because we are not of love. And therefore I know what it is, and I know where we go. And he's bringing a dark field into this world that I don't want him to bring. Because he's trained, he's trained into the darkness, to darkness, because he doesn't know how to live back again, because he lost his soul. And I say no to the people who try to sell the soul of a different sir. And therefore I know who you are, and I say no to you. And I say no to you, and I abandon you. And therefore I abandon you. And I say no to these people, and you need to see what they are. And therefore you start to see these people and you say, I leave this world a better place. Because we can shift now into a higher state of consciousness if we know who we are. And that is what I will bring through. Hello, my love. Hello, my dear. Hello, my friends. Hello, my earthlings. Hello, my starseeds. I love you so much. I am back. And I will be greater than I have ever been. Hello.